I've been trying to make this video as short as possible and not as lengthy. Also, I've been meaning to make this for a long time. If you're a viewer, if you're one of the viewers, you know I've been trying to make this video for a while now. And also, I've been recording this at like 1:30. I mean, maybe 1:40 right now, because I was writing stuff down. Writing down notes, basically. Anyways, let's get started with the video. Jeffrey. You may be a little bit like Jeffrey. You may even look like Jeffrey. Jeffrey wants to start building an aesthetic body. He wants to become ripped and jacked. So, he follows the 5-minute ab routines. And he doesn't know why he's not getting abs as he drinks his chocolate shake. He tries running on the treadmill for an hour, and he does, like, once a week. He doesn't know why he doesn't have the aesthetic body yet. And even though he's eating his popcorn, thinking about why he doesn't have the aesthetic body, he tries to go on a run. He runs outside, gets really tired, and just walks back home, during his chocolate shake. Adonis notices Jeffrey on his walk back home. Adonis stops him and says, "Are you trying to build muscle? Like, I'm actually generally curious. Are you actually like trying to build an aesthetic physique?" And he's like, "Yeah, how do you know?" And he says, I know because I was where you're at. You see, Adonis used to try running on a treadmill to make gains. He tried to do the 10, 15, even 30-minute ab routines and give him the abs because it was what he was eating that was really influencing how his body looked and how his body was forming. And also how he was training was improper if he's trying to build an aesthetic physique. I used to be a lot like Jeffrey, and I was actually quite in Jeffrey. You can see right here. Let's see if I can see if I get another picture, but right there, another picture. I was really quite big. I would call myself skinny fat, but honestly, I might have been even just fat at that point. And I wanted to be aesthetic, even though I wanted to build an aesthetic physique, even though I didn't realize it yet. And I would do the basic bicep curls, and listen to like EDM or something like that, I don't know. And then I'd put down the weight, eat some junk food. And then I didn't know what I was doing wrong, you know what I mean? I thought dieting was so hard. I thought dieting was so hard, you know, so confusing. I can't diet, you know, I didn't believe myself. I would run on a treadmill and wonder, like, listen to the exact same song for an hour and just wonder why I didn't have an aesthetic physique. I wanted to, you know, become jacked, and I would just swing weights and not know, you know, how to properly train. You know what I mean? I didn't know what I was doing. And then I became a lot more lonely, a lot more depressed, and I even like lost myself for like a good minute where I was binge eating. I would fall in love with a girl or have a crush on them, and then I would, like, you know, text them a bunch, and then it doesn't work out. I become sad, lonely, eat a bunch of junk food, and try that again, and then eat a bunch of junk food, and I'm so miserable and tired, and I didn't know what to do. I was swinging weights, and that wasn't working. That was too hard, that was too long. So eventually, one day, after I masturbated, bro, I was messed up in my mind, bro. After I masturbated in the morning, found this YouTuber named Hamza, and he had an aesthetic tutorial, and I found Hamza and a bunch of other bodybuilders, and realized, yeah, she isn't that hard. You mean it's all about just putting the hard work in, especially when you feel like it, you know? Taking all of that pain and negativity, all the suicidal thoughts, all that loneliness, all that void deep down inside of you, and just putting that in the gym, putting that and working hard. You know? Like ripping out that muscles, tearing out that muscles. Working in the gym while God works in my heart. And just praying every day. Praying hard and meditating. That's what it really took. Just hard work and dedication. I eventually started to diet, and I made a mistake while dieting. I cut down too soon. I should have bulked up, and I lost gains. I was really insecure this time. I felt really weird because if you know like, you know, the negative effects of cutting, like you feel always super hungry, and I would just keep eating. You know what I mean? I couldn't cut down properly either, and I was skinny. My arms were skinny, but my belly was fat, so it was skinny fat with this thing, a condition called skinny fat. And it's now common these days where people would be really, the arms would be really skinny, but then the belly is fat, or their legs are really skinny, but their belly is fat. And I eventually changed that for the better, as you can see. I'll have some newer pictures like that one. I'm sorry, editor me, but you gotta do this or pass me. My goal of this video is help you, giving you the diet, you know, all the diet tips I've known and I've learned over the years, all my mistakes and all my research, hours of watching hundreds of different YouTubers, getting different perspectives, different views, trying out different stuff, and to make this video just for you. This is like a summarized version of a bunch of pretty much bodybuilders tutorials and the perfect diet. Let's get into it. Let's dive right in, and at the end of the video I'll have some of the best advice yet. Clean, bulking, and cutting. Now it's important to eat clean, because I remember one of my favorite bodybuilders saying this, that basically he should have ate more clean. Like, he is pretty clean. I've watched his videos. He's pretty clean, and he just says if he wish he ate more clean, because if he ate more clean, he would have more muscle mass than compared to fat, meaning he ought to cut that weight, cut that fat off, meaning that's taking more time out of bulking, and bulking is putting on muscle. If you didn't know, bulking is putting on muscle, cutting is to take out that body fat. And it's like 2 stages of eating and dieting, pretty much. Yeah, I'll try to explain as much as possible, easy as possible, just for anyone who doesn't know this. Clean bulking is simple as this. Clean bulking is like this. You eat tons of really clean food. Talking whole foods, like whole bread, whole pasta, you know, protein pasta, eat, you know, red meat, that's fine. You could eat almost anything as long as it's healthy and clean. No processed foods and no sugar. That's the 2 biggest things I look out for, is processed foods and sugar. And the processed foods usually eliminates the saturated fat too, so with saturated fat would be the 3rd one. But just look out for them. And just eat non-processed food, not in the package, bro. You get steak from the butcher, you know? You get pasta from the pasta shop or wherever you go. Get bread from the baker. Simple as that. Eat clean, really good food to eat. So basically bulking is just eating more. So you just eat. I don't really track my calories. Some people track the calories, and you could start tracking your calories if you want to, but I don't use my phone that much, so I'm like try to stay away from using my phone, so I don't track on my phone. And if I write it down, it's hard for me to track that. So all I do is eat past I'm full and eat a little bit more, or eat more past I'm full. And then when I'm cutting down, I pretty much just eat very little, and I would replace my carbs with greens, and then also I would drink a bunch of water. I mean, you can have a little bit of carbs, but just try not to eat too much carbs. And just one big thing, drink tons of water and tea and coffee, because when you cut down, you receive an energy reduction, and when you receive energy reduction, you'll be really tired throughout the day, and just tired in general. Because when you cut, you're eating less food, and less food is less energy. My mistake with cutting was I cut down too early. I was skinny fat. My arms were really skinny, and my belly was fat. And when your first year of training, you should eat as much as possible, but clean, okay? Eat as much as possible, like, eat much protein as possible, eat as much pasta as possible, you know, clean, healthy foods, as much as possible, because the first year training is usually when the most, okay, not the most results, but a lot of the muscle will be made. And usually when first year training, that's when a lot of muscle is made, and some of the biggest results will happen. Obviously, it'll happen throughout the years too, like people like Gabe, Deustch. But it takes years of training, yes, but a lot of the results come the first couple years of training. A lot of results come. So, and it's hard putting on muscle when you're like, you know, 9th year training, 10th year training. So we just try to eat as much as possible cleanly, and then you could cut down for like a month, like around like a month, maybe less than a month too. And when you cut down, I'd make it short, because you want to continue putting muscle mass if you're trying to build an aesthetic physique and like tons of muscle. Let me get a water break real quick. I'm trying to make this as fast as possible and have less water breaks, but my mouth's really dehydrated now. So yeah, the first year, biggest mistake, cutting down way too early, because my arms were skinny, so it's becoming even skinnier. My stomach was, you know, fat, but it's becoming a little skinnier, but not that much, and my arms are like literally suffering because of that. So, and also like my mind was just jacked up, even more jacked up. So just bulk up. It's so much better. Just bulk up the first year. I'll have a second video on training. This video will just be about the aesthetic body diet part. And bulk up on these are 2 things I recommend for bulking. When you're bulking, eat a lot of carbs and protein. Protein is like the main ingredient for building muscle, pretty much. It helps you recover from, like, you know, training hard. It helps you just in general. Just protein is good. That's all you need to know. Protein equals good. You know, protein equals muscle, pretty much. And people even say, you know, your body is built in the kitchen, not in the gym. You know what I mean? But I kind of disagree. I even believe it's even more in the grocery store. What you buy, you know what I mean? You choose to buy the cheap bag of Cheetos. Bro, just buy that steak instead. You should buy that steak instead. Use that money for the steak, not the Cheetos or whatever you're eating, whatever junk food you're eating. And for cutting, I highly recommend eating like more vegetables with protein, and drink a lot of water, tea, and coffee, because usually you feel more tired. And also when you drink water, that's like an appetite suppressor, because when I'm hungry, when I'm cutting down, drinking water will just stop my stomach from rumbling and hurting. So that really helps you too. Supplements I take. So I don't take too many supplements. All I take is sometimes, because if you're bulking up, you can take this. Creatine. I sometimes take creatine. Not all the time. I also take whey protein. My whey protein has like BCAAs and all that stuff, but you just take whey protein. It doesn't really matter BCAAs or whatever, but just take whey protein. Whey protein is superior. If you can't take protein, you could take like, I'm pretty sure they make fruity flavors for like, if you can't take whey protein because you're like lactose intolerant, they make fruity flavors for, like protein. And I can link down in the description below, because I'll message one of our friends and link down in the description below a brand, I guess, you could try for protein. Just look up, lactose protein, or you can take a lactose supplement too. You can take lactose, so you can drink lactose, the lactose intolerant pills, whatever. Because I used to take those when I used to be lactose intolerant. Other supplements I take pre-workout. Pre-workout, you don't have to take this. You could take it. I take it before a workout sometimes if I'm going intense lift or doing something really intense. I may take pre-workout. The brand I recommend is Rise. I've tried a couple others and I really like Rise. Rise is really good. And pro tip: do not get it from the gym. Do not get it from the gym. It costs I looked it up. I spent $55 on this supplement, right? I looked on Amazon or like on Walmart. It was like $39, bro. $20 difference. That's crazy. It may have been $29. I don't even remember, but it was like a huge price difference, like $20 difference. Anyways, best protein sources on the next subject. Best protein sources, and I highly recommend like getting protein from these sources. Steak. Steak has creatine. It's natural creatine. Now, I take creatine supplement because you're not gonna eat steak every day. It's expensive. Okay, eating steak every day is kind of expensive, and also the amount of creatine you're getting too. So steak's really good. Has creatine. Has tons of protein. You can even the fat. Honestly, I'm not. A lot of people say, "Oh, don't eat the fat, bro." There's nutrients in that fat. There's healthy nutrients in that fat. It's that trans fat you don't eat. It's that sugary milkshake you don't want to drink. It's that Cheetos you don't eat. Okay? Eggs. Eggs help you with testosterone. Okay, not being too disgusting if any girls is here, but it makes your pee-pee bigger. It makes your pee-pee bigger, it gives you testosterone, and it has tons of protein. Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt, if you didn't know, has tons of protein too. And I like eating that, so you can get, what's it called? Vanilla flavored, vanilla flavored Greek yogurt, and also there's like vanilla flavored protein Greek yogurt. I've seen that before, but honestly, they add that stuff into it, so like it's kind of like chemicals, so I don't really like that. You mean I like to have everything natural, so I have like natural Greek yogurt, plus I would add blueberries, add fruit, like frozen fruit to Greek yogurt, and you can even put like normal fruit into Greek yogurt, just mix that up and eat that. That stuff's really good, has high protein. That stuff's really good. Also, eat whole foods. Like when you're bulking and cutting, eat whole foods. Like talking whole milk, whole bread. Because a lot of the stuff nowadays is processed, meaning you use chemicals to like filter stuff out. So, like for example, they would, how do they get 50% fat milk? They use chemicals. How do they get 8% fat milk? Chemicals. They put chemicals in that stuff. Usually, I would say, like, I'm pretty sure, like, one of my friends, like, Garrett, he has a YouTube channel, too. He's pretty cool. But he was talking about, like, grass-fed milk, but usually whole milk isn't, like, most affordable. That's, like, healthy. And whole bread, too, like, whole grain bread. Eat whole grain bread, whole foods. Clean whole foods. No junk food, no chips, no sodas, no candy. Bro, if you want something sweet, eat fruits. That's really, really good. I highly recommend that. Basically, to recap everything, bulk, first year training. If you're not fat, clean bulk. I'm talking if your arms are skinny, if your legs are skinny, clean bulk. Eat lots of clean foods and just a lot of proteins and carbs. Cutting down is simple as eating vegetables, protein, and some sort of either water, tea, or coffee. I recommend tea or coffee. That's one of my biggest mistakes of cutting down because I was so tired when I was in school. I was like dead tired. I think I actually maybe taking naps in school. Don't do that though. You should just drink some caffeine instead. Even though caffeine's okay for you. When you're supplements to take, whey protein. That's literally it. You don't have to take anything else. If the one protein, supplement to take is whey protein. Take vitamins too. Take your vitamins. That's really important. Your parents made you take that when you're little, so just keep taking. Don't overdose on those vitamins. I know those. I forgot what vitamins are called. Give me a split second. Eat your Flintstone vitamins, bro. Don't overdose on that stuff, though. I know a lot of kids eat a bunch of stuff. Best protein sources: steak, eggs, Greek yogurt. Simple as that. Please like and subscribe. Remember to do the hard work, especially when I feel like it. Peace.